Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I am playing some more Custom Trespasser. It's been quite a while, but today I am taking a look at, well, I guess returning to the Ruins map by Rebel, which has been completed and has added quite a bit more than what I showed off when I did the video of the alpha. So I'm going to try to hurry through the first section, which was the section that was in the previous video, but there is a few little extra details I'd like to show as we go through that. Now, I have played this map ahead of time, because being a puzzle map, there would have been a lot of, what am I doing now? Which there was in the original video, where I was like, I don't know what this wall it's showing me is here for. But now that I know what the puzzle is, I can get through that pretty quickly. And get to the section beyond the wall. And again, just the sign.
No trespassing.
If you haven't seen the original map, this is like a, I guess, Roman Empire city. It is a historical site that has been closed down because of raptors appearing. But it's a pretty cool city. Like, it's really well done, and the majority of stuff made for this map is new and unique. You know, it's not a lot of reused models, which is a lot of work, and that's probably why it took so long to get through completing it, especially since it was just Rebel working on it. You know, often Trespasser mappers will collaborate for trying to get certain things done, so the majority of this map was done solo, which is an impressive effort for how much stuff is here. Alright, we got the wild boar here, who is the only thing that will not try to kill you. I think you can still take damage. Let's boop this snoot. Boop!
Ow!
Yeah, I got nudged by the horn there, but it barely did anything. Very unlike actual wild boars, which are very aggressive at all times. Alright, so we shove that gas can in there. It's our first part of the puzzle completed. And now we need to head to the temple. But before we go to the temple, I'm just going to pop into a few of the rooms, because that was one area that wasn't too fleshed out in the first release. Those rooms were mostly empty, but a few of them have been touched up quite a bit, and pretty much all of them have at least a bed and a table in them now. Though I don't think the majority of them have anything on the second floor, which, you know, it'd be kind of a lot of work for not a lot of purpose to fill all of those second-story rooms as well. But I think one of these rooms... Let's see, I don't remember all this being here the first time. All the extra little details, the cups, the plates. Are these beds, or are they like chairs? Huh. I was not expecting a basketball sound when I threw that cup. No, it's not this one. One of these has an item we can take with us. There wasn't really much in the way of weapons in this map originally, and there's still not a lot of combat. You know, there's no guns or anything. But there are a few melee weapons you can pick up, which makes sense for the setting. Like this spoon. No, you can't actually use the spoon as an effective weapon. I don't think it has any weight assigned to it. And it definitely doesn't have any sharp edges. Wow. Aggressively threw that through the door. Yeah, see, there's not much in here, just some pottery, which again is entirely unique to this map. Could have sworn one of these had what I was looking for. I might have missed it. But if that's the case, that's okay, because there are plenty of weapons to find. Well, not plenty, but there's a decent amount of weapons to find. More than we can carry in our 2 slots. I think the one we're looking for has a skeleton in it. Not that one. There was one weapon that I didn't actually find that apparently is in here. I guess somewhere in this town there's a mace, but I didn't see it. in my preliminary run-through. I think it's this one that has the skeleton. Oh, there's our skelly friend. Died with a knife in hand, and we will take that knife. Doesn't really look quite like an ancient knife. Kind of looks like it has a plastic handle, but we will accept it as being ancient. Maybe it's just burnt wood. Alright, so that's all we really needed from this hallway.
Hello? Hello?
I think this is also a significant new room. Yeah, the forge kind of area. Got some pottery being made here. We've also got this machete. Now it is kind of fused with the table here, but I did get it loose before. I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to come loose. I don't think this was listed. Oh, there we go. I don't think this was listed as one of the weapons in this level, but I did get it out. And she does almost swing it effectively. Clunk. And then there's one other large room that was added. I think, is it this one? Nope. Must be the next one. Yeah, just a nice little detail, a little communal eating space, which was not here before. I think this was just a big empty room before. Alright. Now that we've done our quick little reunion tour of the town, there's one more stop before we head to the temple and get out of here. But yeah, it's a very nicely designed level. And I'm glad that there is some puzzles and it's not just, you know, kind of a, hey, look around at all this cool stuff I made. There's actually a bit of gameplay as well. Alright. We actually don't have room for 3 items, so I'm just gonna toss the machete over here. And we'll head into this little mini coliseum, where there's another weapon that also was not there before. Because in the first video, I kind of thoroughly explored this area, so again, if you want to see more of that, I'd say just check out that Ruins Alpha video. Because I'd like to focus on the new stuff here. So we step into the arena. And we find ourselves a rusted, bloody gladius.
Heavier than I thought.
It definitely looks heavy.
I am Spartacus!
I definitely don't remember that being one of her lines from the game. There we go. We've almost got like a stabbing, sawing motion.
Whoa.
Whoa indeed, Anne. Ghostly activity in these ruins. That line probably is from Trespasser. I'm just trying to think like where it would have come up. One of the Easter egg items, I think. Alright, I guess we don't really need the machete. We've got enough stabbing weapons to deal with these raptors. These invaders from another time coming through the portal. Which, as the sign at the entrance says, are mysterious unknown creatures. Alright. Let's go all Lara Croft on this thing. Show this prehistoric bitch how we do things in Rome Town. Pretty effectively, it turns out. Look at that look of surprise. She was not expecting it. Oh, snapshot. Alright, there should be another one. Oops. You kind of ran yourself through on that one, lady. I was going to switch to the knife and try to see how effective we could be with that, but I accidentally stabbed the raptor, so rip, I guess. Now, do you think I can injure myself with this knife? If I try to catch it with my face. This is a really stupid idea because this is probably going to kill me if it works. So I'm going to stop juggling knives and trying to catch them with my exposed flesh. Alright, so what we need next for the puzzle is the torch up here, which is a little out of the way. I feel like you wouldn't always think to check back here, but it, again, does encourage exploration. Thank you for this glorious gift, goddess, of an unlit torch. Of course, it's not going to light the gas can like this, so we do need to go back to the plane. And this all, I had to figure this all out in the first video, because I did not know what the puzzle was. Alright, we're going to leave our overly effective Gladius here in favor of the probably much weaker knife. Good, it didn't slam through the ground like I thought it might. We could also take the machete, but I assume that's probably going to be about as effective as the knife. Oh, shit. It's a little hard to keep this thing in your hand when you're hopping. Alright, so let's head back to the gate. This is the most built-up area of the map, though. There's a lot of open valley outside. Oh, another raptor. I don't even remember one spawning here, so this must be a new spawn. Alright, well, just you, me, and this kitchen appliance. Wow. Absolutely gutted. I guess the knife is not worse than the Gladius by much. The Gladius probably has a bigger damage area, since that's the way melee kind of works in this, is just certain spots on weapons will do the damage. I really didn't think that would work that well, though. I thought I was probably going to have to throw it at them. This is a fairly clever puzzle, though, once I knew what all the parts of it were for the gas can. Because it's kind of intuitive. You're like, oh yeah, I remember seeing fire, maybe I can light my torch back there. Alright, torch is lit. Now let's just place this lit torch on her back. I was going to say she'd probably have to worry about burning her hair, but I realized I don't think there was ever actually a canonical appearance for Anne. I mean, I've seen fan kind of drawings of what they think she looks like. There's even like a faux comic book cover for a Trespasser comic. But I don't think they ever showed like a, you know, bit of concept art for her or anything. Just have to assume she looks like Minnie Driver since that's her voice actress. Alright, we've got our torch, we've got our gas can in place, we can now head into the rest of the level, because just beyond this wall is where the level previously ended. I say previously, there's been a couple versions since that first release, but I haven't looked at them since then. Do we kill the pig just to sate my bloodlust? Nah. Rub this on here. There we go. I also had this bug out the first time I did this, where the gas can was for some reason already on fire, and thus would not light when I did that. But
It worked.
we didn't have that problem this time, and I think it was fixed after the first time, and it had to do with just because I loaded a save after I died. Alright, so now we get to head through a valley that's very reminiscent of some of the default Trespasser levels.
This has to go somewhere.
I'm not sure what's up with that voice line. She's just like, this has to go somewhere.
It worked. It worked.
Weird. I guess this has to go somewhere is not considered a voice line,
It worked.
because repeating it doesn't work. Some more of that sparingly used Trespasser music. If I remember, that's the music that plays in the lab level, right? But now we head towards this ominous mountain. I don't think you ever get close enough for that to completely draw in. Though I will say this level is much more generous about how much draw distance you can use without it just breaking. Because a lot of the custom Trespasser levels have too many objects in a small proximity to each other, so the engine just crashes if it tries to draw them all in. But this one, I have it turned up to about 3/4. Alright, so we've got a Chariot here. I mean, it's got kind of wagon wheels, but, you know, close enough. I don't expect very specific Chariot wheels. And we've got we've got like half of a shield here, which you can hold in front of your face almost effectively. But, of course, we only have one arm, so we can't use a weapon and a shield at the same time. And then we also have a pilum here, which people probably know better by the plural pila, which is a throwing javelin-type weapon. Unfortunately, this one you can't put on your back. It's too heavy, so you can only carry it. But we can use it. Oh, we've also got a little something over here. I like that there's just kind of scattered bits of some kind of battle here. Over here, we've got the remains of a catapult, which I believe is period appropriate. The only thing I think is slightly off is that these would all probably be made of bronze, right? Because wasn't that the primary weapon material they used in ancient Rome? Or am I just thinking Greece? And thus it would be kind of a verdigris green instead of a more typical oxidized iron brown for the rust. But that's like a super unnecessary detail. I just think it's pretty cool that he even made one of these. Unlike the other pig, we are actually going to kill this pig, spill its blood, etc., etc. Just a very distinct fatal slap. I knight you, sir, dead pig. That pig died for absolutely no reason. I am a monster. Or I'm going to say Anne is a monster and just say I was role-playing. Alright, so we're actually going to need to drop our dinky knife, which I guess we've already proved the fatal effectiveness of.
Like a barn.
Got this storeroom here, which there isn't really too much in here, considering how big it is, but there is two things we need.
Whoa. What happened here?
Well, clearly this man was killed by impalement. And then this one's impressive too, because he's got like full-on armor, which I think is all entirely unique to this map. And we got a crossbow. I don't really know how this thing...
Oh, nice. Can I take this?
Okay. So they fixed it from one of the earlier versions. One of the earlier versions, it just... No, I guess not. I guess it still works the same. It just fires when you hit spacebar, but she also tries to swing it because it doesn't count as a gun. It just counts as essentially a melee weapon or an empty weapon. So it like fires every time you try to swing it. And sometimes she will smack the bolt as it comes out, and then it'll fly out of your hands. Pretty janky. And I don't think it's the same crossbow that's used in... There's a like crossbow minigame map. I don't think this is the same as that one. But something I missed when I was doing this earlier to do my test run is I did not see this ladder the first time, which is very important for a puzzle that I missed entirely. But we're going to take this with us. And again, I think Rebel did a good job on the puzzles being integrated in this, because puzzles are pretty difficult. You know, there's a reason that a lot of the Trespasser maps rely more on just like use item on thing or having lots of combat, and that's because a lot of the maps where people have tried to go heavy on puzzles, they had to abandon them because the puzzles weren't working, which has been the case with some of the bigger, more complicated maps. So I'm glad that this one has puzzles that actually work. Alright, so we got this extremely impressive, for Trespasser, aqueduct, which is not melting down the level or anything like it would normally when you have a giant structure like this. But I did not even see this when I was going through here the first time. There's a cross on the wall here, and it's actually a little premature to do this here, but you do get a cutscene kind of indicating that you should look around here if you miss it. And we have these two silver cross rocks, which we are going to need for another puzzle. And these are the things that I missed the first time, which is why I wanted to go through the whole level before recording it, because I was definitely not going to find these on my first run through. I did have to refer to the walkthrough a little bit, because again, I got to the spot where you need these rocks, and was like, I don't know what I'm missing. And it turns out I had missed the whole ladder thing. Oh, shit. Dropped my rock. Gotta be careful with these, since I do actually need them. In fact, I think I should make a safety save, just in case I die, or lose something. And I think I heard a raptor spawn in. Yeah, it's back there somewhere. I don't see it yet. But it'll probably catch up to us. Another interesting thing is that in the default levels for Trespasser, the AI had a much smaller activation range before they would kind of like freeze in place, and the custom levels seem to have circumvented that. I don't know if that's something that's able to be done because of ATX or just some scripting improvements, but it definitely makes the enemies feel a little more reactive than just being like, oh, you came upon me, so now I am allowed to start functioning. Alright, so we got a wagon here, which has something else that I need. First off, we got this cross here, which she actually does kind of hold, you know, like a crucifix. Doesn't really do anything, though, so we don't need it. And that is still appropriate for the time period.
Oh my.
You know, Holy Roman Empire and all that. But I guess the crossbow is a big anachronism because those didn't come around until medieval era, unless I'm mistaken. Rome, they were still using bows. Alright, I'm just gonna... We need this, so I'm gonna drag it out of the wagon. Then again, a crossbow, obviously we can see working here in Trespasser. I cannot imagine ever being able to integrate a working bow. Come on. I know you don't want to spend your whole existence in this wagon. You want to come with me and complete puzzles for me. Now, I think it might be stuck forever. Don't know if I can... Well, I can get under the wagon. Alright, that's some progress. Now it's at least not stuck in the ground. It's stuck in the wall instead. It wouldn't be Trespasser without at least one important item getting stuck in something. And that's not the fault of the map maker, that's the fault of the engine and the physics. And, oh, there we go. One hammer / axe. I guess it's kind of both. It's a ham axe. Alright, well, we need all three of these, but we can only carry two, and I don't want to throw anything because when I was going through this earlier, I threw the axe like right here and it vanished. I turned around as I was throwing it, and when I looked back, it was gone. So we're gonna take these where we need to take them, and then we will go back for the other one. You know, this little kind of church, I guess. It still looks like a temple, but it is a Catholic church. Perhaps it is a repurposed temple. But it's where we need these cross stones. So we can drop this right here.
Wow. Place looks mostly intact.
And that old lock looks cracked. So this is where we need the hammer axe. Just give it a little love tap. Or 2. Or maybe 3. There we go. Oh boy. Oh, Trespasser. I just impaled myself on this axe, which instantly killed me. I guess that's why the weapons in this map are so effective against raptors. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? Alright, so I have gathered my 3 items here, and this is pretty much my expression when I died. Alright, so let's pop open the lock. This time without
Mostly intact.
explosive death. Yeah, I find trying to actually swing it at these doesn't work great. Now, I was trying to see if I could cause it again, but I think he actually fixed it in this. In one of the earlier versions that I had played through before realizing that it wasn't the most recent version, this door only had 1 hinge at the top, so when I threw something at it, it started infinitely spinning, which was pretty funny. Alright. Let's grab our stones. So in the temple, we have a lava pit. Of course, you can just do that, so you don't have to worry about dropping the stone. And a little bit of platforming, which I've mentioned it kind of endless times before, but I do not like first-person platforming, specifically in Trespasser. Unlike other people, I don't mind it in first-person games for the most part. But because of Anne's slippery ball legs, usually platforming means you'll land on the thing you're trying to land on and then just slide off because of her rolling legs. Alright, so these go onto these. Oh. They are actually supposed to go on specific sides. If you look closely at them, you can see one side is faded and the other is not, and that's how you can kind of tell where they go. So this one has a faded right side, so I believe that goes here. No? Or maybe not. Maybe it does go on this side. There we go. Snaps into place. Now, you might actually think you need the torch here because of these brackets, and I tried bringing the torch here, and you can light them, but that they don't actually do anything. They're not puzzle relevant. I think they're just meant to be a bit of a red herring. Alright. And now we get this very skinny little key with a cross on the end. So I'll put that into our pocket, and by pocket, I mean it's just going to float at her hip. And now, try to make it back across here. And, whoop. And, hup. Alright. Grab our battle axe / suicide weapon. Now, there are a couple areas that look like there might be something there. There's kind of a switchback that goes above the temple there, but that actually just leads to invisible walls. I've never seen someone use so many invisible walls in a Trespasser level, and that's not really a downside, because it means that you don't end up falling out of the level or coming to just an infinite flat plane. Alright. Pass through this little entryway. I was going to say archway, but I guess you'd actually have to have an arch to be an archway. Oh. There is something in the water. Now, this was not here in the version that I looked at, which was, I think, the version before the final version, but you can see there's a portal and there's some kind of creature, so I'm curious to see what this looks like. I believe this is supposed to be a Tylosaur. You know I'm going to swim up and look at it. That is a pretty cool model. And also impressive to see a entirely water-based creature, because obviously there isn't really swimming programmed in Trespasser. He does seem like he's having some trouble, though. Quick, when he can actually line up. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Mostly just a detail, though, since it might follow us out of the water, but it's gonna have some trouble doing that. No? It seems like he's trying to pursue. I kind of want him to follow me, but I don't know, I think he's kind of stuck on a ledge there or something. Very cool. And I believe that was done by Mach F, who is one of the Trustcom regulars that I think has done quite a few of the custom models. Alright, so we've seen our watery friend. Now, we can come up to the end of the level, which seems to lead under the volcano mountain itself. So I assume, because Rebel has already said that there is going to be or at least he wants there to be a second map called the Catacombs. So I assume there's probably going to be some lava in those catacombs. Alright, so here's our entryway, where we need a little key. And let's just slot this sucker in here. You can see that we are definitely near the end of the level, because if the next level is called Catacombs, this looks like a Catacombs entryway. And one final little puzzle here. We have these cement blocks. We have this door waiting for some weights. Just pop those on there. Always nice to see a puzzle like this that works so smoothly. Well, I don't know what happened to that block, but whatever. Alright, so we have entered the tunnel of the catacombs. That one I knew about just because it was an Easter egg in the walkthrough. I wanted to see that. And I do like the extra little detail of the lighting changing.
You've got to be kidding me. That's it, I'm dead.
These look like really small skeletons. Like, they kind of look normal until you put her arm on it, and then it's like, ooh. To be continued. And I hope it is, because that was a pretty good map. And you can actually see the tunnel shrinks towards the end into just a single point. You know, it's an optical illusion that it actually is as long as it looks. Alright, so that is Ruins, and that is the finished version of Ruins, so we aren't going to be seeing that again. But I hope Rebel continues into his second map, and hopefully it doesn't take a year to come out, but making puzzle-heavy maps obviously takes even longer than just making regular ones, because you have to make sure they work. But I kind of hope that if he does put out the next map, he does put out an early version like he did with this one, because it's fun seeing how a map changes and what gets added. But yeah, I enjoyed that level. I thought it was well made. There was a lot of cool stuff to see, and I am glad to be back covering it. So until next time, I've been Shadefire. This was Trespasser Ruins. And I hope you'll join me for a few more Trespasser things that, hopefully, don't take a year to come out. Until then, take care, everyone.